Hey, Looky Loos, it's Ashley Quinn, and I am here to review Porsha's Family Matters, episode number 5, Spilling the Tequila. So we pick up with morning yoga, and again, Porsha is not there. She's not like fully participating in Lauren's event, and it really does show that she doesn't support her sister the way that she expects her sister to support her. And so afterwards we have Dennis there, and Dennis is basically, he's saying all the right things. He's letting us know that, hey, I thought we were supposed to be here to work on this as a family. Porsha's not showing up to the events. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm participating, and truthfully, he's speaking facts. And it's like, Lauren does try to defend Porsha a little bit, but even she realizes, and she says it herself, that Porsha's not doing as much work as she should. And of course, Dom is there, and Dom is being messy. Dom is basically here, I think, on the trip to stir the pot. Like, that's pretty much what he's been doing the whole time. But Dennis is still speaking those facts, and he's like, man, this shit looks crazy, right? And so on top of that, Dennis also brings up the moving company situation again about how Simon has that moving company on speed dial, and how he's had all these wives, and somebody needs to really keep an eye on that situation. Now here's the thing, whether or not Simon said it to mean it like that, Dennis is taking this information and he's planting seeds, right? This whole episode is Dennis planting these little seeds, right? And I'm loving it, right? I'm loving it. Let's put it all out there on the table. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it, right? So after their conversation or whatever, we see Lauren is meditating, and Porsha comes basically busting into the meditation to talk to her about what? Dennis, of course, right? Dennis is always, any scene that Porsha's in, she has to talk about Dennis, right? And I guess if she wasn't talking about Dennis, then it would not be interesting, because I sure don't want to hear her talk about herself and Simon. So, of course, Porsha doesn't listen, right? Because she's like, well, I don't even know why he's here. He just wants to bring a girl and this, that, and the other. And like, she's so focused on the girl. She's like, he hasn't even stated his intentions. And it's very funny, because I'm thinking to myself while she's saying that, I'm like, yo, I know it was a few episodes ago, but I clearly remember Dennis stating his intentions while they were here, when everybody went around the table and Darlene felt compelled to talk about her feet, right? Like, okay. So, now Porsha is saying, he doesn't, state his intentions. But then it was so cute, because the producers put that cut in right there of Dennis clearly saying why he was here and what he was looking to get out of this retreat. So then after that doesn't work on Lauren, then she switches it over talking about Mama Gina, and how, Mama Gina is the problem, and she doesn't want Mama Gina. She thought they could be family, but, she's not my family, and, that's just Pilar's grandma. And, okay, so that does make her your family, and it also makes Dennis your family, because he's Pilar's dad. So, like I said, it's everybody else's problem. Everybody's doing something to Porsha. Porsha's always the victim. Girl, bye. At some point, you know what I'm saying? It can't be everybody. So it's everybody else. It's never you. It's everybody else, right? Okay. So, and then what really like kind of dawned on me was the fact that, like, here's the thing. Maybe if you would have gotten to know Dennis before, you just eyeballed his money and figured, okay, yeah, he have a little bread, he have a bag. Maybe if you would have actually taken some time to get to know him, to get to know his mom, to get to know his family, what kind of family you were going to be mixing, you know what I'm saying, your genetics with, your DNA with, and to see if that's like something that you really wanted to do. But I'm guarantee you can't determine that in 3 to 6 weeks. But she made a judgment call, and now here she is. And like I said, it's not like we keep acting like this woman is like 20 years old, 22, 23 years old. She's not. She's 40 years old. How old is that beautiful little girl she has? What, 3? So that means, so you were 36, 37 when you were like contemplating, doing this. You were grown. You got what you signed up for, basically. Period. So for the first time in a long time, we see Lauren calling Porsha on her bullshit, right? And she's letting Porsha know, you're not being transparent. You don't even show up to meditation. And what you're really doing is you're making this all about other people, right? It's never about you. It's always about other people. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Oh my gosh. She's standing up for herself. She's standing up to Porsha. Porsha, like, basically, she tries to give us a speech about how she's healed, and when that doesn't work, she proceeds to start attempting to gaslight Lauren and basically make it like, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Well, what else do I need to do? Well, I'm just not this, and I just can't do that. And, it's just never good enough. Da-da. Like, that's gaslighting tactic, right? Where they beat themselves up and, oh, it's all my fault and I just can't get right, and so that you can say, oh no, I didn't mean it like that or whatever. But instead, Lauren really gives it to her, and I was very proud of Lauren in this moment.
To hear yourself when you're talking, and you talk in the manner of blame and point when you have some of the same issues yourself. I want you to be real. You're not being real. I hear you coming with the BS. I hear you coming and not being vulnerable. I hear you before you get the fifth word in. I don't understand.
And instead of taking responsibility or any accountability or even reflecting on it, Porsha Williams gives us this Oscar-worthy performance.
It would have meant a blending of the two families that I grew up with.
Scene.
Did y'all see that? That's what I'm talking about. But here's the thing, Lauren. You really just should focus on yourself. Talking to Porsha and trying to get Porsha to grow is like trying to get a brick wall to grow, right? Porsha's been the same person that we met on season, 3 or 4 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, 10 years ago. I really don't think there's any change, and there's no getting through to her. And if there is, I think that it's really going to take somebody that's a trained mental health professional, because it's something going on there. So anyway, we're moving on, and then we find out that they're going to have fun group activities today. So they're going to be splitting up, and half of them will be going to go ride ATVs, and the other half will be going on a tequila sipping. So our tequila sippers, we have Dom, we have Blondie, we have Dennis, and we have Lauren, Porsha's assistant. Now, this is for sure the good time crew, right? Now, Dom is with this group, so you already know there will be some mess. I mean, the title says it all, right? Spilling the tequila. So on the bus, basically, Dom gets the conversation going, asking Dennis, hey, are you really done with Porsha? Is Porsha really done with you? And it's like, bro, she got a whole fiance, right? They're done, right? Right? She's into Simon. She loves Simon. They're getting married. This is the man of her dreams, right? This is the answer to everything, okay? This is, God sent her that lady's husband, remember? So Dom is like bringing that up, and then the conversation moves around to Erica, who was the young lady that Dennis brought on the trip with them, and they kind of talk about her age and like, oh, she looked really young. The woman's 30 years old, okay? She's not a child. Yes, she is significantly younger than Dennis. However, once again, she's not a child, so more power to her. They also have to bring up the fact that she's been walking around in a thong. Okay, they're at the beach though, right? From what I saw, the little clip that we got to see of her, the little, I don't know, maybe like 15 seconds, it looks like she has a beautiful body. So girl, why not? Enjoy yourself. She's on vacation. But like I said, this is all about the mess, all about being messy, right? They also talk about Aunt Darlene and that stunt that she pulled at the cenote. Oh my God, like she's never gonna live that down. I'm dead. Like every time I see that, like that reenactment though was the funniest, right? Man. Aunt Darlene. So now we flash over to the other group that's going to be going on the ATVs. And with this group, we have Porsha, we have Storm, we have Lauren Williams, and we have Simon. So we see them getting on the bus to go ATVing. We see them get there, and we see them getting all loaded up. Who's going to go first, second, third, or whatever. Now, Porsha's going really fast. She's enjoying herself. I think Simon was going pretty fast as well. But then Lauren was doing like 8, 9, 10 miles per hour. But I'm watching, I'm like, that's totally me. Like, I do not have a daredevil bone in my body, right? So really nothing going on with them. So we go back to the fun crew, right? And then they're sipping the tequila. So they're doing like these different tastings, and they're tasting, they tasted a silver, then they tasted a reposado, then they tasted the añejo. And at this point, like, I'm pretty sure they're more than 3 shots in, and they decide to play a drinking game. Let the fun begin, right? So during this drinking game, one of the questions was presented to Dom, like, if any lady on this trip that you could be with or have experience with, you know, who would you pick? And Dom is like, y'all would never guess it in a million years. And they start guessing people. And then Dom lets us know that this is his pick. Not on Esther. Oh my God, Dom is a fool for this one. Talking about she looked like she got a little freak in her. She looked like she got a lot of freak in her, okay? But yeah, so they're having a ball, and then for whatever reason, they switch us back over to the ATV crew, right? And we see that Porsha broke her nail. And so that's what the scene is about, Porsha's broken nail and her sweat shiny boobs, okay? Let's get back to the tequila tasting, because that's where all the action is really happening, right? So messy Dom, right, doing his job. Now Dom needs a raise, right, for doing, because he did what he was supposed to do and then some, right? So he asked, well, why Porsha didn't take that shot last night? She not drinking or something? Well, why is she not drinking? Is she pregnant? And so that sparks like this whole conversation, right? And Lauren has to say, this is Lauren, remember, her assistant, not her sister, has to say, no, she's not pregnant. Everybody's like, how do you know? She's like, because I seen her pee on a stick, right? So that's implying that there is a possibility that she could have been, right? And so Dennis is like, man, that girl be moving way too fast, you know what I'm saying? She probably let him hit it on the second night, right? And then Londi, without missing a beat, was like, well, she let you hit it on the first night.
And
So after that, Dennis now asks Londi, I guess it's Londi's turn, why does Porsha treat you so bad? I guess there's this thing between them, and we've kind of been able to see that dynamic where Londi is definitely not Porsha's favorite cousin, okay? And with that, Londi proceeds to let us know in the confessional and at the table that her and Porsha are cousins. They're definitely cousins, but they've never really been friends, and it's because Londi won't kiss her ass. And I can see that. I can totally see that. Londi says that she's blunt, that she's honest, and she just cuts right to the chase. And that's not really Porsha's thing, right? She needs people to support her bullshit, people to elevate her bullshit, people to make her feel like she hasn't done anything wrong and that she's always right. And Londi says she's definitely not one of those people. Then she lets us know that Dom is definitely an ass kisser. Lauren gets paid to kiss her ass. And that Storm is such an ass kisser that she hops in a whole argument last night that had nothing to do with her just so she could pucker up to Porsha's puss. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we kind of move on, and once again, here comes Dom with these really messy questions, right? And he's like, so Dennis, what's your beef with Storm? Why don't you like her? And Dennis basically gives us 2 reasons. One, she's a liar. And number 2, he had to fire her for poor performance. She's rude to the manager. She's rude to the customer. She's never on time. She's always complaining. So, and he has basically his business is based on customer service. Not like she's in the back building something. Like you're dealing with the public, right? And she wasn't doing a good job. So then Dom brings up the fact that, well, Storm says that you don't really like her because you threatened her and you tried to get at her. And Dennis is like, what? Nah, never. So even though they left us on like a little like commercial cliffhanger for that, but we already knew the answer to that. And like you said, he never tried to get at her. So then Londi begins to share her issues with Storm and how she was really like kind of hurt last night at the way Porsha took Storm's side. But once again, Storm was sucking up to Porsha and Londi was not going to do it. So of course she's going to take Storm's side. But again, Londi said that kind of hurt her feelings. And Dennis also let us know that Porsha and Storm not even that close. So where is all this? This is like the most that anybody's really ever seen them communicate. Now we get to Lauren, right, the assistant, and she says something that I was just like, whoa, damn. Are you gonna ask them to edit this out? Because it didn't. But Lauren lets us know that Porsha never takes any accountability, right? Something that we all knew. but it was so crazy to hear her say it, right? Even Dennis was like, yo, she gonna fire you for that, right? But he was like, maybe, hey, maybe Lauren really is cool. Maybe Lauren's not the ops, right? However, Dennis does let us know that Dom is definitely the ops. So it turns out that Dom is the one who told Lauren Williams that Dennis was cheating on her again because the girl that he initially cheated with was back working in his club. And at first I was like, dang, Dennis, like, really? Like, you just out here doing it like that? Like, he don't care about nothing. But then we also find out that Dennis has 11 clubs and over 600 employees. So it stands to reason that he isn't in charge of day-to-day hiring, right? And who's getting hired, who's getting fired. I'm pretty sure he doesn't look at the people's application. I feel like at 600 employees, you definitely have some type of human resource department that handles these type situations, okay? I mean, like, it could be true that he didn't know, and it could be a plausible lie, but it's it's a very plausible lie. It's very probable situation. I can't believe, I don't know how long she was working there, because it does seem like he goes into the various clubs to check, but maybe it wasn't her shift or whatever. Who knows? Anyway, long story short, Dom is the one who told, right? And Dennis feels like, because they're both guys, that Dom should have been on his side. And Dennis, that's the only place that you lost me. Dom is not your friend. Dom is Porsha's friend or Porsha's employee or whatever. Like, he does have an obligation to her more so than he has to you, just because you both have a penis. That's not really how, I mean, I guess maybe that's how things work for guys. Things should work like that for girls. I think we should, like, team up like that and just stick by each other just because we all have a vagina. Like, that would be pretty awesome, right? Guys do it and it kind of seems to work for them. But anyway, sorry, let me get off that tangent. Basically, Dennis feels that Dom should have sided with him. Dom feels like, hey, if you wouldn't have been cheating, I wouldn't have had nothing to tell. Dennis was like, but I wasn't cheating at that point. It just caused all these extra problems. And so Dennis was basically letting them know that he wanted a fade with them, right? And so Dom, he was like, no, whatever. So Dom was pretty cool. And like, Dennis was like, you still the ops or whatever. But, they kind of like agreed to disagree and leave it on somewhat of a good note, right? So then we get our last TEAquilla spill of the afternoon, when Londi basically was like, okay, so maybe you didn't fire this girl, but you for sure fired me. What was up with that, right? At that point, Dennis proceeds to tell her that it was Porsha's idea to fire her. Yo, everybody's face at the table was just cracked, right? Like I said, Dennis knows what he's doing, and I like what he's doing. See, Porsha's over here playing checkers on a Monopoly board, while Dennis is literally playing chess. He's dropping these seeds, man, and he's getting these people to, right? I want to see how that's going to actually turn out. But yeah, so basically, she was Dennis's assistant. Londi was Dennis's assistant, and like slowly but surely he started relegating her back to doing stuff for Porsha, and then he ended up just letting her go altogether. And it was, as he said, because Porsha told him to. And knowing what we know about Londi and Porsha's relationship, and basically how Porsha deals with anyone who poses a threat of opposition to her, they gotta go, right? So I really, I don't question it. Based on previous behaviors and current behaviors, I think that that's really how it went down. So now it is time for dinner, and I swear can we just have one dinner where we can just eat our food and like let it digest and everybody can walk away from the table happy? No, we can't, because then it wouldn't even be a show, right? Okay, so as everybody's coming to dinner, everybody looks absolutely lovely, right? We then see Auntie Liz, who I love. I'm happy to see her. And we see Mama Gina. And we find out that these two lovely ladies had a beautiful spa day. So they really had a good time. Everyone's talking about how their day went, how the separate activities went. And then the whole tequila tasting situation comes up, and they talk about spilling the tea, right? And first they started talking about the drinking game and how questions started getting asked. And then Dom starts talking a little bit too much, right? Dom basically just blurts out that he told Dennis that he told on him. And everybody's like, what are you talking about, right? And so now Porsha's like, asked Londi, like, well, what happened? Tell me. Londi was like, I ain't in it, right? So you could tell that whatever happened, what, Dennis told her about Porsha and how she was fired because of Porsha, you can tell that has a little bit, that's affecting Londi, right? Because Londi, like, girl, don't even talk to me. That's y'all business. Y'all figure it out. I don't want no parts of it, okay? Then Lauren, the assistant, she basically explains what happened about how they wanted to clear the air and how, Dom got some things off his chest and Dennis got some things off his chest, and they really were trying to just, tell the whole story and just figure out, what happened, so maybe they could come to an understanding, right? And I really enjoyed that, hearing that, because that is actually what went down. And when you think about it, that really is the purpose of this show, right? These people that are basically all in Pilar's life, they're all going to have to deal with each other. And they're going to have to probably deal with each other only when Pilar is around, right? They're not going to be hooking up and hanging out on their own time. So it is really important that any beefs that they have, any issues that they have with each other, that they do clear the air, that they do get those things out there. So I really did enjoy hearing it explained like that. But I also feel that once it was explained like that, Porsha wasn't having it, right? Porsha was not having it. And Mama Gina brings up a good point. Y'all need to get over it, right? This is old news, right? If this happened when she was pregnant and the baby is 3 and she's engaged to somebody else, this is old news. Why are we in a situation where we're trying to move forward with this new situation, this new relationship, and get accustomed to that, and we keep bringing up old shit? So basically, Auntie Liz, she's watching this go down, and her and Mama Gina, I really like the friendship, kind of like, just even in little clips that you see of them, this friendship bond that they're forming, right? And it seems like today at the spa, they really got a chance to get closer. Hey, Auntie Liz, I love it, because she leans over, like I said, these people are arguing and stuff. She leans over to Mama Gina, and she says, wait, I got to get this right. She said, you have to come and get to know the Hosea Williams side of the family. In other words, these people don't represent us. I don't know who these people are. This is Diane's people, okay? Miss Liz say not her. Not her, not her family, not her bloodline, right? This is not how they get down. And it's really funny because Simon's just sitting there. He's watching all of this implode, and he's just sitting there looking so smug. So smug. But in the midst of that smugness, that smirk that he has, he does say that Porsha needs to heal. So even Simon can see that Porsha needs to heal. And see, you better watch Simon, because Simon said already he attracts women that are broken, women that need to be fixed, right? And that's going to be his out when he dumps her. Mark my words, when Simon takes off, that's going to be his out. She was too broken. I tried to help her. I tried to heal her. It didn't work. She didn't want what I was trying to offer her. Watch. So Mama Gina is really, though, still like, but why is she worried about it? Which I think is everybody's question. Why are you worried about it? Who cares what happened 3 years ago? You've moved on. You're happy, right? Good. Like, let's talk about something else. So Dom is really kind of getting really feisty over there in his seat. And it's funny because he's talking a lot different now that him and Dennis have about, I don't know what, 10 feet apart versus when him and Dennis were about 2.5 feet apart. When him and Dennis were 2.5 feet apart, oh, it was all good. I just want to clear the air, right? But now, since they're at the table and there's all these people around, and it's going to be a lot harder for Dennis to snatch him up, right? He's talking with his big girl panties, okay? Now all of a sudden, Storm says something like really out of pocket to Dennis's mom, which nobody seems to bring up when we get into the point where Dennis now again tells Storm to shut the fuck up, right? He was with, I'm sorry. You talk to my mom like that? My mom is old enough to be your grandmother, and you're talking to my mom like that? Like real, like spicy, real crazy? Hey, I'm going to tell you to fuck up too. Period. Period. Like, why is everybody feeling like it's okay to disrespect Mama Gina? But you know why? Because Porsha disrespects Mama Gina. And they're Porsha followers. So if they see Porsha do it, they think that it's okay for them to do it. So no, I feel like Dennis was absolutely correct in what he said. And so Dennis and his mom, they get their things and they proceed to go. And then all of a sudden, Porsha loses her shit, right? What the hell?
Grown people, like, she ain't got no sense.
He needs to get the out of here. Him and his sluts and his mother.
Porsha Prune Juice Williams out there screaming her head off, right? Disrespecting his mom, disrespecting that girl. You don't even know that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your problem with her? She doesn't know you. You don't know her. Talking crazy to his mom. Just yelling for no reason. So they're leaving. Like, they're getting their stuff. They're out of there. Dennis is getting his mom. And then all of a sudden, this happens.
And she's grown too.
She a kid.
And she's grown.
You part of the problem. She's like disrespect. Don't talk to me, bro.
Go. Hold on. Go.
Don't talk to me. Yo, chill. Yo, chill.
Get out.
Chill.
Go.
You ain't gotta be here. You asked me to come here.
And you're still 4 days later.
Storm, shut your ass up.
Go. You and your mom. Get the out.
Girl, shut up.
We'll do this another day, okay?
Spiritual leader, you best in leading.
I know you fucking lying. I know that I did not just see what I think I saw. Did y'all see that? I know somebody saw that. Are you serious? This is where this is going? Into your 4th physical altercation on nationally syndicated television? Your 4th? The 4th time you put hands on somebody? 3rd time's a charm, 3 strikes you're out. But we're on number 4? So anyway, I will be back for episode 6, where we're going to go ahead and dissect this kerfuffle and figure out what the hell is going on. Because this is taking a turn for the absolute worst. The absolute worst. I'm so disappointed. Not shocked, not surprised, but hella disappointed. Because, girl, you need to grow up. You need to grow up. Period. Anyway, thank you, Looky Loos, for stopping by for this recap and review. I really appreciate you. If you could go ahead and like the video, as well as subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And also, please leave a comment below and let me know if you saw what I saw, and if you saw something different, please feel free to share, and we can continue the conversation down there. Like I said, I'm just completely mind blown at the behavior and at the lack of growth. And yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next time for the next episode. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Ashley Quinn. Until then, later.